Ladies and gentlemen, this is the world famous Bitcoin Original Gangster channel. I'm your host, Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending Bitcoin gangster style from the misconceptions spread by snake oil salesmen and shitcoiners. On this show we'll be protecting Satoshi Nakamoto's design for Bitcoin as he intended it to be, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way.
Been working all day. I haven't even seen
all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. There we go. Mate, we are live. Here we go, just gonna broadcast Coin Dance on the home screen. There we go, mate. Right, should we have a look at this? Should we have a look at Twitch then?
Yeah, man, this is a true live reaction. I've been in meetings and calls all day, and I've seen that Twitch has launched a new setup, so I'm on desktop right now.
That's all right. Well, you might not. Well, there's a delayed reaction on YouTube, but if you actually go to actually, tell you what, I can send you a message on that Moy sent me. It just sends me directly to my profile. So we're just going to be looking at this screen right now when it comes up, when it loads. Any second now. If you log onto it on your desktop, you'll be able to see that. There we go, looking smooth. These boys have done a fantastic job on this.
These boys are balling out.
Yeah, can you see it? Are you looking at it?
Yep. I'm looking on my phone and my desktop just in case. I want to see the different variations. Oh, these boys are on fire.
Yeah, right, I'm just gonna get this. I'm just gonna get the link. Just going to get the link to my YouTube. Let's do this so we can share this out for everybody. Now that we're live, I will learn how to. Here we are. Yeah, Bitcoin Original Gangster now live. Right, there we go. One watching. Oh, let's see who's in the room. Might be you, mate. Share this out for everybody. Here we go.
This Twitch is looking. This Twitch is looking fire. It's looking hot.
All right, here we go. Just get this. Share this out.
Shout out to the Twitch team for balling out.
Right, I'm gonna copy that.
Out.
Right, mate. Tell you what, I'm just gonna send you the link in this chat. Here we go. Right, this is coming up on. There we go. Can you see that?
Yeah. What am I supposed to do here?
So if you just put that on your Twitter profile, just let people know that we're now live. Just gonna yes, here we go. Here we go. But Satoshi live with TK Coleman. Here we go. Satoshi.
I'm live with you. I'm just hanging out for a few minutes. I'm just hanging out, man. see how you do your thing.
Yeah. Well, this is all new to me, but yeah, loving it. Here we go. Put the little thumbnail in there, and we're off. Right, come on in, people. Right, yeah, people are.
You and I.
Here we go. Right, yes. So, let's go back to Coin Dance. So, are you following on YouTube, TK, or are you just kind of logging onto Coin Dance on your desktop while we're here?
Wait, I'm just here. I'm just here in the Google Hangout. What do you want me to do?
Oh, so if you just log on to coin.dance, I'm literally just going through that right now. That's on the shared screen.
Wait. Looking at the shared screen. First of all, I don't see anything.
Oh yeah, don't look at the shared screen. If you just literally log on to coin.dance from your desktop, you'll be able to see what I'm looking at. So I'm kind of like, the way I've got my screen set up is I've got my desktop image, which is my access to CoinDance actually showing on the YouTube broadcast, so people can't actually see you. Me and you were just chatting here. They're literally looking at the front page of CoinDance.
All right. I'll tell you what, man. I'll follow along on the YouTube channel.
yeah. Just make sure you mute it. There's about a 5-second delay on it, but you can see what's on the screen.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, here we go. Right, well, I ran through this a little bit earlier, but I think you might like this. You know, when you were asking me questions the other day about the hash rate and the difficulty adjustment algorithm and things like that. We'll check this out. So let's turn my volume up. Yeah, so I can hear you. Here we are. So at the bottom here, we've got the block size. Now, block size is the capacity of the network. You know, so BSV has currently got 62.2% of the overall block size that's available on the network. So that's kind of like representing capacity. Transactions is actually literally the transactions that are being performed and going on average actually in the network. So that represents fundamental value because that's actually it being used. This network has now got 64.8% of the transactions on its network. And then just above that, we've got network nodes. So network nodes, again, they're expressed as a percentage, but the network nodes represents the size of the network. So when somebody broadcasts a transaction to the network, that's the size of the network that it has to get 50% of the nodes to recognize it, to confirm the transaction before they put it into the block. And then when it's put into the block, all the other transactions are put into that block, and then the block is then given to the miners, the hash cache puzzles, where they put all the hash cache power to it, and then the miner that cracks the SHA-256 is rewarded with Bitcoin, and then the data is registered on the chain, and it's there immutably forever. So that's what network nodes is, the way I interpret it. And now, what was really interesting was actually looking at the hash rate and the price. And so what I realized is that if you scroll down to, well, you don't need to, but I'll just scroll down myself. If we scroll down to where it says mining profitability, I mean, this is hilarious. It is currently 2.5% more profitable to mine on the BSV chain in comparison to BTC. However, it is 69.1% more profitable to mine on BTC than it is for Bcrash. So literally, you are losing out on almost 70% extra revenue by mining on Bcrash instead of Blockstream coin. I mean, this is hilarious. So miners should be looking at, because their only incentive is profitability, or it should be, unless they're stupid, they should just be looking at the profitability on the BSV blockchain and go, oh, actually we're better off over there. So the profitability on the BSV network is drawing the miners over, and as the miners come over and the hash rate increases, it's actually indicating to traders that the chain is becoming more valuable. So as the traders are looking at this, they're just like, actually, you know what? The price hasn't shot up. It's not a pump and dump. It's there's more hash rate coming over. This could be the real deal. This is becoming more fundamentally valuable in our eyes, which prevents them from thinking, I might dump this because there's genuine hash rate coming over. So I was just like, oh my god, and if we look at a CoinCap.io, which I've just put on here, there's basally like a roughly 25 quid difference. So I guess that's like $30 roughly in USD. But I've been monitoring the difference in the price over of these last this last week, and I don't know if you saw my little display that I put up earlier. I'll send it to you actually on Twitter, so you can see this here in just a second. Did you see the image that I made of the price comparisons between all three of the chains?
I did.
Here we go. Yeah, I'll just send it to you, just in case you didn't see it. But there we go.
That was funny.
Yeah, there we go. So I've just sent that over to you. So looking at this, looking at the price comparison, I was just like, over this week, the price of BSV has just been creeping up, and the price is purely social. That's set by supply and demand, and it's set by the traders. So the traders are looking at this going, oh, the price is slowly creeping up. The hash rate is slowly coming over. Oh my God, this could be the real deal. And I honestly think, like, looking at the price, if it continues like this, so 3 days ago, there was about a 42 quid difference. Yesterday, there was a 36 quid difference. And today, the margin is simply 25 quid. And I was just like, oh my goodness me. This is, it's almost like coming down by like £10 a day. I was just like, well, 25 quid, that basically means in 2.5 days' time, if it continues like this, we could actually flip the B crash price. And I was just like, so we've got miners, we've got hash rate coming over, price creeping up on B crash. This is really going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. Like, traders are going to be the first people to see this. And I was just like, oh my God, there could be a massive pile-in any moment when traders realise what's going on. I mean, do you just sort of see where I'm coming from?
Well, I see exactly where you're coming from, and going back to your earlier comment about what people should do, what's really cool about what we're seeing with the change in hash rate, the change in network nodes, is that people are going to be compelled by their own self-interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not by any moral proclamations we make. And this is the beauty of Bitcoin. This is the beauty of the Bitcoin SB economic model, is that there are a lot of people in this space right now that are driven ideologically or religiously to support this or that, even against their own profit, right? There are people who are supporting things at a loss at their own expense. But just like how the Twitch guys talk about trolling, it's not that trolling is wrong. It's just that we're going to make it expensive, right?
Yeah.
And so by making it expensive, we can remove the moral judgment. You can do whatever the heck you want to do, but it's going to be very difficult to sustain because it's going to cost you. So now the game is changing now, and the Bitcoin SB economic model is making it very expensive for miners to sustain their activities by allowing themselves to be driven by ideology rather than profit. In the very near future, this game is only gonna have room for people that care about profiting, and that's exciting, because now we see who wins according to the rules of the actual Bitcoin game.
Yeah. This is the real hash war. This is the real deal that we're watching right here. I mean, this isn't a case of pump as much hash rate onto the network as we can and then proclaim ourselves as winners. This is the real deal.
Yeah, and, I never know what to expect from traders. Traders always baffle me, which is why I don't trade. The basis for their decisions is beyond reasoning for me. But I like focusing on what the miners are going to have to do. And even right now, miners are kind of incentivized to be lazy and to just feed off the subsidy. But the further we move into the future, the less you'll be able to do that, and the more you're just gonna have to care about transactions, the things that matter if you want to stay in this game. This is exciting, man.
Yeah, I mean, it made me realize, like, for the first time today, I've sort of put myself into a trader's shoes because I was trying to explain this, the correlation between hash rate and price. Because people are just, oh, hash follows price, price follows hash, blah, 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 and they're kind of separate, but they're an indicator. So, when you've got hash slowly creeping over, that surely is going to be an indicator to the traders who are purely trading on greed and profit. Oh, hold on a minute. There is value transferring over to the genuine Bitcoin network here. There is something going on, and at the moment there is nothing, or there is no one pumping and dumping the price. This price has held firm for an entire week. I think we're looking at like $185, at the moment, and with it very consistently being over 1% more profitable to mine on the BSV chain, miners that have any sense of intelligence, who, because they're meant to be in business mining for profit, are going to be like, oh, you know what? It's more profitable to mine over there. Let's move that. Traders are going to see this. They can't not possibly see this, especially if the price continues doing what it's doing and it flips BCH within 10 days. I mean, I was just like, we've got 27 days left until the block reward halving, but it might flip BCH before that happens. Yeah, that's going to be a massive indicator to traders, because then traders are going to be like, well, I ain't selling. I know where I'm sticking my money. There's more hash rate coming over. It's already overtaken BCH, and then I think there could be a massive flood of traders actually moving first. And this is not a manipulated pump. This is the general consensus of traders slowly moving over. So unless you've got some, huge whale who's, there's just no point in pumping and dumping it, because the whale is going to lose money here. You need to draw the hash rate and the traders over, just drip feed it bit by bit. But as the traders start to see this and it becomes more apparent, they're all going to rush in. They're going to be like, oh, what's going on here? There is going to be massive FOMO. And I think this might hit, before the BTC halving. That's why I was initially thinking that as if people lose confidence in BTC, the price might plummet and drag the rest of the market with it. But I honestly don't think that's going to happen. I think traders are going to be seeing what's happening and trading out of BTC and going into BSV. That was the conclusion I came to.
You maintain that even at the point of the BTC halving?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just look at what's happening.
So what do you think of this scenario? This is something that a lot of people are talking about. Let's say at the BTC halving, it's the kind of bloodbath that we've been hearing Calvin predict, right? And the market starts to realize that the emperor wears no clothes and starts to kind of freak out and rush out of it. Now, the devil's advocate case can be, once you've had a whole bunch of mainstream personalities stick their neck out there and say, hey, BTC is the thing, BTC is the thing, and those people look bad, those people lose a lot of money, those people crash hard, they typically don't just turn around and say, oh, well, we had the wrong Bitcoin, but no problem. The real Bitcoin is Bitcoin SV. Let's just switch our attention over here. Usually it's more like, there's nothing to this, and the Peter Schiffs will have their heyday, like, I told you guys Bitcoin was a fraud, and everybody just kind of runs away and the whole market sinks with it. Now, even in that scenario, Bitcoin SV, because of its utility and its roadmap, can still be the thing that rises and stabilizes over the long term. But in the short term, the devil's advocate argument would be, man, if BTC falls, in the majority of people's minds, BTC is the market leader, and even though they're wrong, even though they're irrational, they're gonna freak out, and everything is gonna sync with it. What's your take on that?
Well, this was the scenario that I initially thought would happen. So yeah, I mean, I can totally see where you're coming from on that. I've literally only just changed my mind on that today when I was talking to myself on the show that I did this afternoon, and I was comparing what was actually happening. So what would you do if all of us, because this hasn't happened overnight like it did with B Crash when Roger and Jihan were just simply pumping it. This is a slow creep. First of all, the hash rate is slowly coming over, and then the price is slowly going up. So when it goes up slowly, that's not a pump. That's not a pump which is followed by a dump. This is traders slowly looking at seeing the hash rate coming over, thinking, oh right, well actually, there's more hash rate on the network, which indicates it's becoming more valuable. You know what? I'm just going to start slowly moving a little bit over. So they're not dumping BTC. It's literally one or two traders spot this first, and then everyone else. You can't fault the numbers. So then people are holding BTC. I think there is just going to be a massive exit. I think there's going to be a massive exodus out of BTC and into BSV. Because that's what I would do if I saw these figures. If I saw BSV just slowly going up and the hash rate coming up, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong chain here. This is going nowhere. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I think that's a real good point that this is not a trader-led phenomenon we're observing, right? This, or rather, this is not a well-induced pump. We're seeing more. We're seeing evidence of more and more people waking up and realizing where the value is. It's happening slowly, but it's happening surely.
Yeah, so it's the full-time day traders who are going to spot this first, and they are going to be the first ones to move because first mover advantage. They're looking at the screens every day. And I've literally just gone in big time. Like literally before we came on air, I was just like, oh my god, I've just realised this. And I've been caught out before where I was thought, I'll just give it a day or two, and I was just like, I can already see this happening. This is not coming down. Why would it? It ain't.
You're not concerned at all about a possible dip. I mean, because you can be bullish as heck on BSV, but still be concerned about a possible dip.
Yeah, but what if? Yeah, but the only thing that's going to cause the dip in BTC is people pulling out and going into BSV. This isn't like a recession where people are going to be trading out of BTC and into Tether or into some stable coin. It's the actual increase in price of BSV that is going to be causing the dip in BTC. That's the difference.
Say that one more time.
Okay, so usually when people, when there's a pump and dump in the market, people trade out of BTC and into a stable coin, like into Tether, because of something that's happened in the market, people are losing confidence or whatever. Whereas this time, the dump in BTC is actually going to be caused by people trading out and into BSV. So it's actually the increase in the price of BSV that's going to be causing the tank in BTC. So it's not going to drag the market down with it.
I like that scenario, man.
Well, yeah, it just hit me earlier on. I was like, oh my God, this is what's going to happen. So therefore, there isn't going to be a correlation between BTC tanking and taking the rest of the market with it.
Yeah, the X factor is what other elements in people's perception of things influence the market. I still think.
Well, think about what's going to happen. I mean, like, it's all we've got left really is the block reward halving. There's 27 days left, and I mean, I'm just going to scroll down to look at the profitability again. So so it's currently, oh my god, it's currently 3.7% more profitable to mine on BSV. So let's say now, and it's actually 70% more profitable to mine on Blockstream coin than it is on Bcrash. I mean, that is insane. But think about what that figure's going to be when the BTC halving kicks in. So basically, it's already kind of like 1, 2, 3% more profitable to mine on BSV. Then suddenly the block reward kicks in, and the miners lose half of their income. That means effectively the price is going to shoot up. It's going to be like 50% more profitable to mine on BSV because the miners are losing 50% of their revenue on BTC. So,
all right, but what about the other? So you and I agree on the blockchain battle, right? One of the things that we've talked about a number of times is that there are two Bitcoin battles. The first is the blockchain battle. I mean, BSV versus other Bitcoin forks and altcoins. And we agree that the writing is on the wall there and that BSV is going to win the blockchain battle.
Yeah.
But then the other is the battle versus the rest of the world, where the battle against misinformation, miseducation, the battle against fear, the battle with an economy that's wrecked right now and causing a lot of other people to be wrecked. How much do you factor that in when you're looking at price and you're confident that BSV is going to go up?
Well, I mean,
I still see room for dips as a result of that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, Bitcoin as money is uncorrelated to anything. It's money. It can't be correlated to anything other than utility. So yeah, I mean, if there is an economic recession, that causes lack of productivity and people not spending, then yeah, that will affect it. But that's the only thing. That is literally the only thing. Whereas, let's say, if the government is looking to stimulate the economy, what you need is something that encourages and accelerates trade, which is what BSV does, because the more people that trade on it, the more valuable it becomes. So therefore, it encourages and incentivizes trade. And so then you've got to look at, well, who's going to move first? Well, it's going to be day traders that see this first. Day traders are going to be all over this. And to be honest with you, it's day traders that tanked the price before, and they're the ones. They're basically the piranhas that take their pound of flesh. They add no value to the network whatsoever. So if it's these piranhas that actually effectively devalue the network, that are going to be the first ones to move, they're the ones that effectively you're trying to get rid of, because they're the ones that are the most dangerous and the most vicious. And yet, in this scenario that I'm proposing, they are the very ones who are going to be the first to see this.
Yeah, man. All right, so let me ask you about Craig, and something that's been a big topic is the whole rolling iceberg warning, right?
Yeah.
If what you're saying is getting ready to happen soon, where people see the emperor has no clothes, it would seem to imply that if you've got any moves like that you want to make, now is the time. That this opportunity isn't going to be around to do that in 4 years, because from what you're saying, BTC probably won't have 4 years.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
So what do you think is going to happen there? Do you see CSW making any moves with respect to that, or do you think that's a trolling move to agitate the crowd?
Well, do you know what? I mean, I'm not a fan of the market being purposely manipulated by anyone or anything like that, because, like I said, traders will always be taking their pound of flesh. So if you manipulate the market up in some way, in a very obvious manner, where traders are just, hold on a minute, this is a bubble, I'm gonna dump it. It's not gonna work. So I don't think he'll need to, but at the same time, he said he wants to maximize his return. So basically what's happening here is by encouraging the hash rate just to come over slowly to give traders an indication that the value of the network is increasing. Suddenly they're going to be like, all right, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to trade out my my BTC Blockstream coin and move it into Bitcoin. So, like I said, it's the day traders who are the piranhas, who are the worst of the worst, that are going to be the people who are moving, that are going to have the first mover advantage. So are they likely to, outtrade themselves? Well, I don't think so. I think there's going to be massive FOMO. I mean, like the last traders. I mean, if you're a day trader, I mean, basically this is going to be a Darwinian theory played out in front of our very eyes. It's literally going to be those who are the slowest, those who take the longest time to adapt and realize this, are the ones who are going to lose out. But if you've got the most vicious and the sharpest piranha type traders moving over first, they're the ones who are normally going to go up against you. They're the ones that are just like, yeah, we'll take that. Nice one, mate. Whereas what I'm saying is this time it's those piranhas that are going to be the first movers. So they have the strongest bite, and they're the ones that have already moved.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, this is crazy, man. This is exciting.
I know. This honestly, mate, this is why I thought I'd do a show with you, because I was talking to myself earlier, and the penny just dropped, and I was like, oh my god, you know what? I don't think BSV is coming down again.
Yeah.
And so literally, I made myself like a quick cup of tea and just made the trade, went straight in. I was like, I can't hang around, because basically what all I'm doing is waiting for them to spot it. The price margin between BSV and and B crash is diminishing massively. It's going down by about like £6 a day. But I mean, it's 10 quid. It's 10 quid today, and I was just like, whoa, they're gonna spot this either tomorrow, the next day, or the day after. It's going to be blatantly obvious what's happening with the hash rate slowly. Because if you're a trader, you'd be looking at the mining profitability, and you're like, well, hold on a minute. It's still it's 4% more profitable to mine on BSV. That means more miners are still coming over. That means more hash rate is moving over. And if more hash rate is moving over, the network's becoming more valuable. Well, I'm going to move in then. Because that's what day traders take away. They take away the excess value that isn't there. The fund, the price that doesn't deserve that hasn't got the value to back it. Whereas hash rate backs the value. And in this case, they're going to be like, well, what's going to happen in this halving? It's going to be bloodshed. Because it's already more profitable to mine BSV. I mean, this is unprecedented. I never ever saw this.
It's insane. Yeah, for sure.
So I think basically looking at the price, I honestly think we've got 3 days, mate. I think we've got 3 days before we start seeing some serious movement. Serious movement.
We will see if you're right, man. So here's what we should do. We should hop on Thursday or Friday and see how right you are.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Well, I put out in a tweet just earlier that if things continue the way they're going, BSV could flip BCH in 10 days. But if it keeps going the way it's going, it's going to happen in 3. I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to continue, like it has in the last couple of days, to actually happen in 3 days. But if it did continue, it would be 3 days. In 3 days.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Well, we should hop back on if SV flips. Here's something I'll ask you though, because as exciting as it is for BSV to flip BCH in price, and as exciting as it is for us to experience this steady increase in hash power for all the right reasons, it doesn't mean anything if it can't be sustained by real application development that's generating real business and growing transactions. Because being better than BTC and BCH isn't the game winner. It's being better than any other alternative the world has to create. And that means getting the world to see that and actually getting some transaction volume. What's happening out there that's got you excited about the possibility of that happening?
Well, I mean, the figures are literally right in front of our face as I'm looking at CoinDance. We have got 64.8% of the transaction volume on the network, comparatively speaking. It's massive. So in terms of looking at the figures, they're literally right in front of our faces. But in terms of what's going to keep on piling more and more transactions onto the network, you've got to look at Anne. Anne is doing really well. The awareness neutral network explorer.
Hey, can we talk about Anne for a little bit? I've been seeing lots of posts there. Lots of people have been asking about it and talking about it. Do you mind giving a little bit of a primer on that? What is Anne all about? Or rather, I know the proper question is, who is Anne?
Yeah, so I mean, I still haven't quite got my head wrapped around what Anne is. So the name is obviously Awareness Neutral Network Explorer. I've heard people suggest that it's a lot to do with it's going to be supporting artificial intelligence. It's going to be recognized. I mean, from what I've seen people giving demos on it, it's kind of like starting to build. It's effectively, it's how AI is created, where computers learn. Well, this is the same way, except rather than being on a single computer, which is on a central server, which can be shut down, this is now going to be artificial intelligence on a decentralized, distributed, immutable database. It could be absolutely massive. I mean, I saw a program earlier on today where there was a musician who was using AI to, I think there's like a Eurovision AI music contest or something, that's going on these days. So again, that's just going to be more and more and more transactions going on chain, and it's actually going to speed up transactions because artificial intelligence learns, so therefore you learn via association. So therefore, it's gonna help people get to answers a lot quicker. I mean, it could be massive, absolutely massive.
We have to get. What do you think about getting Scatman to join us?
Yeah, mate. If he wants to come on, I'll certainly approach him. I mean, I don't think he's ever been on I don't think he's ever done a live show before, so that'll be quite a novelty to get him on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be real fun, and just kind of talk with him and answer some questions about it, break it down, and I think it'd be fun because I see them posting a lot and it looks really cool. But yeah, to talk about this, not just in terms of like what it can do for BSB transaction volume, but what's their why behind it? What makes him so excited about it, and what it could just do, period, for life.
Well, I suppose this is kind of like what's, it's a bit scary in the fact that people are saying, well, AI could spring to life. Yeah. Well, it can only spring to life, if it doesn't have a centralized source that can unplug it. And this is what Bitcoin provides. Bitcoin is immutable. So now you've got an immutable database that AI can plug into that no one can switch off. A little bit scary.
Do you find it scary, or do you find it exciting? What's one scary scenario for you? What's one scary possibility, rather, or what's one exciting possibility?
Well, yeah, obviously what I just mentioned there, AI being plugged into an immutable database where it literally suddenly has no, central source of failure. which basically means you can't turn it off. You can't shut it down. That's huge.
Which means if anything goes wrong, sci-fi movie scenarios,
Yeah.
it becomes an enemy. You have an enemy that you with no off button, with no kill switch.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, if you think about it, oh my god, I mean, these robots like in Terminator, they could be plugged in via Wi-Fi, to the to the Bitcoin blockchain. Which means that they can make their own decisions because they've already got artificial intelligence. They know when to plug themselves in. They know when they're running low on battery. They've worked out their strategy as to how to keep themselves topped up, at optimum performance. I mean, it's big, mate. It's big.
What do you think about the idea that this is what it's really all about? That it's I'm sure you've seen that video, the crypto black pill, and the development of AI on the Bitcoin blockchain. That's really the end game. What's your take on that?
I haven't seen that video actually. Tell me about it. What happens?
So I mean, there are different variations of it too. I mean, there's one video called the crypto black pill where it talks about that Craig Wright was using Bitcoin to develop AI, or that he had already created or developed AI, and I believe the name of it is Tulip. And the importance of this block size debate was so that this AI could feed on I believe the amount of data that it would have to sustain itself through big block sizes. And so all of the opposition against it is basically designed to kill this AI, and that this is really a battle for something so much bigger than just a new form of money, or just like peer-to-peer cash, or just like where we store our data and where we do it the best. But this is actually all centering around the development of artificial intelligence and some people's quest to stop it. It's an interesting theory, and I'm not sure if I represented the best, but you can go right where you are and click Bitcoin or crypto black pill, and it'll pull up an interesting little video.
Right, yeah, I'll definitely do that.
And some people, in fairness, some people dismiss it as quackpot conspiracy theory, but I think it's interesting nevertheless. And when you start talking about AI and it makes the mind wonder what else is going on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with anything with artificial intelligence, you're just gonna have to worry as to we can do is like as to what people are going to teach it. If it gets into the hands of the military, and you've got the military, teaching all these robots that have artificial intelligence, how to defend themselves, and how to blow other things up and stuff like that. What if it suddenly, turns around and goes against you and uses all the skills that you've taught it against the person who's been teaching them? Right. You'd be screwed.
Either you can program it to function independently of you when you die, or so that it can continue when you die, or when you die, someone else can just come along and have it behave in a different way, which means like all forms of power, right? What happens if it falls in the wrong hands? And the only way to avoid power from falling in the wrong hands is to create a kind of power that's able to function independently of you. And maybe that's something that could happen. What if AI could be like the blockchain itself, that it has a way of providing value that doesn't have centralized governance? That could be interesting. I don't know what that looks like. I'm way out of my league on this, but interesting thought.
Well, I mean, at the moment, I presume you've seen that Tom Cruise movie, the Day After Tomorrow, is it? Yeah, The Day After Tomorrow, where he's it's the movie where he keeps getting killed every day, and every time he gets killed, the day starts again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You seen that one?
Yeah.
Well, you know how easy going up against all those machines that they're fighting against. I mean, I've got that scenario in my mind at the moment. I'm just like, wow. I mean, these things now have, the centralized source with no single central point of failure.
Yeah.
So and they're going to learn rapidly, so much more faster than humans ever can. And like I said, let's say they're connected via Wi-Fi, and then they can even tell if their Wi-Fi signal needs is breaking up or something. I mean, they can just plan. Oh my god! I mean, literally, they could just plan everything themselves. Because everything is data driven.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of scary if you think about it in that kind of way. I mean, hopefully that's hopefully that's won't happen in my lifetime. Because I plan to be preaching the positive qualities of blockchain and encouraging everyone to use it so that we don't have economic crashes anymore. Because more people die from economic depressions than I would say a pandemic virus. I was watching The Big Short the other day, and Ben Rickards said every 1% that the economy shrinks, 40,000 people lose their lives or something like that. So it's economic hardship, which is effectively brought on by the fiat currency system, because you have the rich who control the money, and every time they print more money, they're printing money for themselves, but they're devaluing the purchasing power of those who don't earn as much anyway. So you're continually building that wealth divide. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time. Whereas you can only get over that when you actually have a deflationary currency. And in which case everybody benefits. As more and more people trade, people benefit from increased trade, and then people benefit from increasing value. It's huge. And this can only be done with Bitcoin. The genuine Bitcoin, which has an economically sustainable ledger, through the necessity for immutable transactions to be recorded on it.
And that could be the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That could be the light at the end of the tunnel for these economically dark times that we're in right now, where if people are able to overcome, or we're able to help them overcome the difficulty of seeing the BSV value proposition, because you can have a value proposition and people just don't see it. It reminds me of an episode of Silicon Valley where they had this product and they were trying to explain it to people, and people just weren't getting it. And after like 4 hours of explaining it, someone was really excited, like, oh yeah, I get it. And it was just sort of like, if it's that hard for people to understand, no matter how valuable it is, it's just not going to sell. So you do have that aspect you got to deal with. But if we can overcome that hurdle, this can be Bitcoin's opportunity to shine, because there are so many things happening that are causing the traditional stores of value to show how weak they are. And for so long, the greatest objection against Bitcoin has been, but why would I need that? Why would I need that? And that's come from people that are very comfortable with their fiat currency or with their financial situation. And now that so many people are uncomfortable, and now that we are seeing that we can't really find security in the money that we have been given, I think the world will be highly incentivized to give something else its day in court. And I'm really interested to see if BSV can step up and seize the moment, because now is the time, man.
Oh mate, well look. I'm literally looking at CoinDance as we're speaking now. It is 4.4% more profitable to mine on the BSV blockchain. 4.4%, and we haven't even had the block reward. The block reward halving of BTC yet, and you're losing 70%. You're losing 70% by mining on Bcrash. I mean, this is absolutely insane. I honestly think, if it continues like this with the hash rate, at 4.4%, indicating to traders that the chain is becoming more valuable, and traders going, the chain is becoming more valuable. There's more hash rate on it. I'm going to, and like I said, it's day traders, the most vicious ones, who are the people that are going to see this first. They're going to be the first movers. I think this is gonna explode, mate. Like within a week.
Well, let's check back at the end of the week and see if that explosion has happened. And at the very least, chat next week to see where we're at. I got to run to a meeting, but man, it's been fun diving on live, little impromptu chat with you.
Yeah, mate. No, I really appreciate this. I'll have a listen to this when we're gone.
Take it easy.
All right, cheers, mate. See you later. Bye. There we go, people. I honestly think when traders start seeing this, the hash rate coming over onto the BSV network, which is indicating or implying there is more value coming over, it is the most vicious day traders that are actually going to be moving first. So you've got them on your side. This could be huge. So all the best, people. See you soon.